This is Sam. I rescued Sam from the pet store a couple months ago, and I built him his own dream ecosystem. But there's one problem. Sam needs a girlfriend. But this tank is way too small for both of them to live. So I got this empty tank from a subscriber and started to plan out our build. We are going to complete this build in 3 phases: the setup, the introduction, the date. So I went to the local hardware store and picked up some materials to build a table. After 30 minutes of cutting and screwing together our pieces, this table will be a perfect foundation for my bigger ecosystems in the future. So I put the tank on the table and it fit perfectly. Just to give you a size reference, this is the giant tank and this is the tank Sam is in right now. I'm also going to be fully customizing the tank from an idea I had building the giant shrimp ecosystem. I'm going to add some special acrylic dividers to separate the fish. For those of you that don't know, when keeping bettas, you can't just toss them in together and hope for the best. These fish can be aggressive, especially the males, so here's the plan. The male will have a black divider and the female will have a clear divider. We first need to silicone the acrylic dividers into the tank. After some quick silicone work, I set the dividers in and I'll be back when they dry. I woke up the next morning and our silicone dividers were locked into the tank perfectly. The goal is to build 2 sand-based ecosystems with filters for the male and female betta and a no filter set up in the middle. When you're breeding bettas, any kind of current, even a super gentle sponge filter, can suck them in or stress them out. Plus, the male builds a bubble nest at the surface, and any surface agitation from a filter can break that nest apart. So I started by filling both sides with sand. Now for the center section. I decided it would be a good idea to make the center as close to Sam's tank as he's currently in right now, so he feels safe when it's time to breed. So I poured in a nice layer of aqua soil and grabbed some plants from the current mini betta ecosystem. Not only will this make it feel like a similar ecosystem, but also introduce beneficial bacteria to kickstart it. I decided to keep the build simple with some wooden stones. Honestly, this basic setup will do the job, since these are just holding tanks for our bettas before they start their own family. Now it's time for the no filter section. I will be taking the plants from the mini betta ecosystem, so Sam feels like he's at home. I will be scooping Sam out of the mini ecosystem and putting him in this container while we break down his old home. I decided to take as much as I could, so nothing goes to waste, and transferred it all over to the middle section. With everything planted in the tank, it's time to fill it up. I'm using old cycled water in my build to help expedite the setup process and make it so we can add Sam into the giant ecosystem today. Now that Sam's side of the tank is filled, we're going to add in this sponge filter, finish filling up the side for his girlfriend. Then I filled the no filter section. We will have to give this section some time to establish before we add our bettas. I also added in some floating plants to add some cover for our bettas. Once the tank was filled, we started to drip acclimate Sam. It's important when introducing fish to new water parameters to allow them to slowly become accustomed to the new environment so they don't go into shock. Once Sam was done, we added him into the betta ecosystem and gave him some time to explore his new home. So it's been a couple days and Sam seems to be enjoying his new home. Our no filter section is starting to cycle itself, but it's going to take a little more time for this middle section to be established since we are going for the natural method. I also got a delivery in the mail today. Our lid and light just got here and will be the perfect touch to finish this setup. Now all we need to do is wait a couple more days for our left section to be completely cycled before we add in Sam's girlfriend. Sam looks happy and healthy after almost 24 hours in the giant ecosystem. I can't wait to see his reaction when he meets his future girlfriend. So I figured I'd drop in some micro pellets for Sam to eat. It's important to keep Sam full and happy during the breeding process to ensure the best results possible. Let's give Sam some time to digest his food. Our left section is just about ready to hold Sam's future girlfriend, so I took a drive over to the local pet store and picked out Sam's new girlfriend. Meet Carrie. I picked Carrie because she's purple. Our male betta Sam is red with blue accents, so I thought they would be a perfect match. So I put Carrie to acclimate. Sam is over in the right section patrolling around. Right now, he can't see Carrie due to the black divider, but soon he will get to see his girlfriend. And after 15 minutes, she was ready to enter her new and improved home. At first, she just sat at the top of the tank and even tried to eat this floating plant. Then after a couple minutes, she started to get comfortable and and started roaming around the tank. I think it's best to give her some time to explore the left side of the tank. It's the next day, and I spotted Carrie trying to eat some of the floating plants. It looks like she's hungry, so I dropped in some micro pellets. At first, Carrie didn't notice the pellets, but as the scent moved its way through the ecosystem, Carrie found the pellets and got her first snack. Sam had this cool 3D printed feeding portal to help train him, so I think it'll be cool to add it to the female Betta side to help her eat. And speaking about 3D printed stuff, our individual sides lack cover and protection to make our Bettas feel safe, so I decided to print these plant pots. We can't plant into the sand because it lacks nutrients that are important for developing strong plant growth, so we will fill these with aqua soil and some plants from my plant tank. I dropped in our 3D printed plant pots to each side, but we had a little problem with Sam's. So I tried again with another plant, and it worked. I also found this cool design that I turned into a Betta bed. These two 3D printed boxes will serve as safe space for our Bettas to hide and feel safe. The only problem is, we need to figure out how to make them stick to the side of the tank. So I drove over to Walmart and found some suction cups in the hardware section. After putting together our Betta beds, I attached them to the inside of the tank. Now let's give our Betta fish some time to check out the new additions. It's been a week since we started this build, and our no filter section is almost fully established. I wanted to add our first signs of life to our no filter ecosystem, so I scooped out the Amano shrimp and autosynclus catfish from the mini ecosystem and put them into the no filter section. We are going to drip acclimate these guys so they get the proper care and introduction to the new water parameters. When I looked over into Sam's section, I could see he started to build a bubble nest, which means he's happy and ready to start breeding. So in a couple days, I will add him to the no filter section so he can start to see his girlfriend Carrie without being able to contact her. Meanwhile, Carrie is carefully swimming around her enclosure, but she keeps hiding in the Betta box. She also keeps hiding under this rock. I don't know if she's stressed or sick. And as I was watching Carrie, I found this yellow shrimp hiding in the back of the tank. I must have added this shrimp when I was scooping some duckweed out of the shrimp tank to add some into the ecosystem to soak up waste. At least Carrie isn't by herself. She has someone to help eat the extra food I drop in. Our cleanup crew has finally acclimated, and I placed them into the middle section to start exploring. I'll be back in a couple days to check on Carrie and add Sam into the middle section to start the second step of our breeding process. So I came back to the tank, and Carrie still seems to be sick. I decided I should add some more cover to help her feel safe. So I took some plant trimmings from our river ecosystem and added it into the female side. Carrie seems to only be coming out for an hour a day to find some food. So I dropped in some more pellets into her 3D ring, and she enjoyed a nice snack. Meanwhile, Sam is enjoying his bed, and he looks ready to explore the middle section. So hopefully Carrie makes a recovery in the next couple days so they can both meet for the first time. So I came back to our giant ecosystem, and it was time to start phase 2. We are going to be adding Sam to the middle section of the ecosystem, but when I went to check on Carrie, I found a shocking surprise. Carrie passed away last night. Honestly, I think she was sick when I got her from the store, so I decided to do some research on why this would have happened. It says here, a female Betta's death can stem from various factors, like poor water quality, stress. So I did a test on my water, and everything came back perfect. So I decided to do a quick cleanup using my water vacuum, then went to check on Sam. Sam seems to look fine with high energy levels, but the plants in his tank aren't doing the best. It looks like our plants in the 3D printed cups didn't give our roots the proper room to grow in the aqua soil. So tomorrow I'll be adding Sam into the middle section so he can start phase 2 of the build. But before we add Sam into the middle section, I'm going to be dropping in an algae wafer for our cleanup crew. These algae wafers are packed with the perfect blend of vegetables and proteins. So I came back the next day, ready to put Sam into the middle section. I went to check for our algae wafer, and it seems our clean crew ate the whole thing. We have also started a little colony of snails that came to clean up the remains. Hopefully these snails don't take over like the river ecosystem. So I scooped Sam out of the right side and put him into the middle section. At first Sam was confused, since this tank looks nothing like his holding tank, but he soon gained confidence and started patrolling around. I'm also going to be adding a sponge filter for the first couple days to help filter any waste and keep Sam as safe as possible. But as I was plugging in Sam's filter, his phone kept going crazy. It looks like Sam has a bunch more matches on Finder. I guess he moved on pretty quick and told me to go pick up his new girlfriend. And I present to you, Bella. She looks very energetic and a great match for Sam. So I placed her into her side of the giant Betta ecosystem, and Sam didn't notice her at first, but then he came over very intrigued to see his new girlfriend. Even Bella looked like she was excited to see Sam. After Bella was done acclimating, I added her to the ecosystem, and the two of them started interacting through the clear divider. This clear divider will allow them to get comfortable with each other, and it gives the female time to show she's ready too. Then once the male builds his bubble nest in the middle section, that's when things get real. At that point, we'll carefully move the female in with him, but only for a short period of time. And we're going to be watching them closely the entire time, because this is where things can get unpredictable. If she's truly ready, there'll be a little chasing, but if either of them seems off, I'll pull the female right back out. The goal is to keep stress low and avoid any damage. Let's give Bella some time to explore her new home. I came back the next day, and I decided to put Sam and Bella on their first lunch date. So I grabbed some micro pellets and dropped them into each side for our bettas. At first, Sam went up to the pellets and started eating them through the floating plants. Bella started learning from Sam and went up to check out her 3D printed ring and found some pellets. It's pretty cool to see Bella using the 3D printed rings. We need to print one for Sam also. So I jumped on my 3D printer and created 2 Betta portals for Sam. These 2 portals will play different roles for Sam and the ecosystem. The small one is for food, and the large one is for a bubble nest. Hopefully in the next couple days, we can introduce Bella into the middle section to hang out with Sam. I came back to the ecosystem, and today is the start of phase 3. We are going to introduce Sam and Bella into the same tank for a supervised play date. So I decided to feed them some micro pellets before they go on a date, because if I try to feed them while together, Sam might attack Bella. Once both Bettas had a full stomach, it was time to carefully scoop Bella out of the left side and place her in the middle section. At first, Sam didn't really notice that Bella was in the middle section, but Bella was excited to finally get to hang out with her boyfriend Sam. Sam realized that Bella is now in his area and decided to dart around showing his speed and colors. Then, Sam started to chase Bella, which is normal with Betta mating, but we just need to stay on watch in case Sam gets aggressive. But Sam kept chasing Bella, almost like he was hunting her. Once Sam was showing too much aggression, I knew I had to save Bella before it got too late. So I'll leave them to chill out for a couple of days and try the process again. So I came back to the tank and I decided to try a different type of food. I got fish flakes, and supposedly Betta fish love these. So I dropped some into the tank, and at first, Sam and Bella didn't know what to do. They are pretty used to eating the micro pellets, that it took them some time to find the flakes. After a couple hours, and added her in for the second try. At first they were hesitant, but after 10 minutes, they were swimming back and forth with each other. The two of them seemed a lot better this time, but there was still some aggression from Sam. Then that is when Bella decided to see if Sam had any leftover food in his ring, and Sam got mad. Sam thought Bella was eating his food and started to chase her. He even started to flare his gills, which isn't a good sign. So I'm going to separate them and try a final method I saw in a video. We are going to try the blackout method by moving Bella from the left side of the tank to the right side of the tank so both Bettas can't see each other. Sam was a lot more calm when he couldn't see Bella. She would get him excited. Our right side has gotten pretty nasty since we stopped the filter on the right. So I'm going to start the filter back up and stop the one in the middle. Filters are helpful during setup, but can be problematic during breeding. So hopefully now Sam calms down a little and starts to build a bubble nest in his 3D printed section. Now for the cleanup on the right side, I grabbed 3 albino corridoras and put them in there to clean up the sand. Corridoras catfish are excellent for keeping aquarium sand clean because they sift through the substrate, helping to remove debris and prevent buildup. I also added some floating plants, so our Betta has some cover to hide in. Let's give our corridoras some time to clean it up. After a couple days, these corridoras cleaned the bottom of the tank up nicely, and it was time to add in Bella to the right side. At first she was kinda confused since this didn't look familiar. And even Sam was wondering where his girlfriend Bella went. Then, when I looked into the back of Sam's section, I saw a bubble nest he built in the plants. I guess the plants have a more natural feel instead of the 3D printed section. So with Sam showing signs of being ready to breed, we are going to try and add the two of them together one last time. So I scooped Bella out of her side and dropped her into the middle section, and at first it looked like the two of them were enjoying each other. They were swimming back and forth with each other, and it even looked like Bella was checking Sam out. So I decided to leave them a little longer this time to see if their relationship changed. I came back a couple hours later and found Bella hiding from Sam. It looks like our two Bettas don't seem to be syncing up, and like Sam is on the hunt for Bella. So we are definitely going to have to separate these two Bettas to keep Bella safe. Our breeding process may have failed, but we learned so much, and we will have to try a different setup style soon. Here's some more of my videos.